Hi everybody, my name is Frank Korea, and every year, Buddy and I have a whole thing where we pick all 256 NFL games to prove once and for all if we got something right, we knew who was actually going to win this thing at the beginning. So like and subscribe and comment. Today I'm going to do the AFC. Um, Later on I will go through how I picked every single week. Um, and we'll come up with the 7 teams. That's right, there's 7 teams this year making to the AFC playoffs. They've expanded the playoffs in both divisions, both conferences, I mean. And I'm going to go through who I think is going to win every division and how they're going to seed. Now, a couple basics. I never pick a team to go 16-0. Never pick a team to go 0-16. I know 16-0 has happened once. Of course, perfect season, 18-1 New York Giants. And 0-16 has happened a couple times with the Lions and the Browns, but I just don't pick it. Okay, somebody's going to win a game, somebody's going to lose a game. Also, 15-1s and 1-15s, I'll do one of them of each, possibly. No more than that. I will, on an occasion, pick a tie. So if I pick a tie, it's not because I'm being cheap. It's because I actually know I think the score is going to be tied, but I only do one per team. Since the overtime has been started back in the 70s, no team has had 2 ties in a season. And we don't have any international games, so we don't have to worry about that, or neutral site games. And I do take into account buys and longer weeks or shorter weeks when I predict who's going to win a game. So with that said, this is the AFC video. If you want the NFC video, go to the end and just see what I've got. And it'll pop up there. So first I'm going to pick the easiest division to go through first, which is the AFC West. And when I made that rule about the one team being 1-15 or 15-1, well, it's going to hit here. So the team that I have hitting 1-15 is the Denver Broncos. I just don't see improvement. I see that they are going to have the number 1 pick overall. This is the weakest division, and I think they continue that. Now, I also have the Chargers at 4-12. The only win that I have for Denver is in the division against the Chargers. I got Chargers going 4-12. New quarterback, new stadium. Just don't see it going very well. Tyrod Taylor or whoever plays after the midway season, just don't see it doing well. Now, I have the first wildcard team, and that rule about the one tie comes into effect here. So I have the Vegas Raiders, 8-7-1, going to the playoffs. They will be the number 7 seed. They will be just ahead of a couple teams that will finish 8-8. So I don't have to worry about doing a tiebreaker rule on that one. And last but not least, the easiest team to pick, your defending, undisputed, reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Will go 13-3, and we'll go over whether that gives them a bye this year. Now, with the expansion to 7 teams in the playoffs, the second division winner does not get a bye. So if this was last year, Kansas City would have played in the first round. So who knows how that would have went out for them. They would have played Pittsburgh. Now, speaking of Pittsburgh, let's go into the AFC North. Now at the bottom, we've got the new kid, the new quarterback, and a little bit better, Cincinnati, going 5-11. After that, Pittsburgh, who would have made the playoffs in the last 2 seasons, if there would have been a 7 seed, they'll make playoffs this year. They're going to go 7-9. After that, we got Cleveland, who just misses out. I redid my thoughts, and I had them winning a game, and then I took that game away. I have them going 8-8. They're going to just miss the playoffs. Your division winner is going to be the previous best team in the league at 12-4, the Baltimore Ravens. So they will not be having a bye. They have a worse record in Kansas City. And we'll go over exactly where they are later on in this video. Then we're going to go to the division that surprised me the most, which is the AFC East. Now, the record I'm going to show you is 4-12. I have them starting 3-2. I got New England, 4-12, starting 3-2. They are going to, once they get to the bye, they are going to be crumbled. They've got a new quarterback. And if it was Tom Brady, I think they would go 2-12, 2-14. I really don't have much faith in them. There's too many guys with COVID, too many new players, just too much change. At 7-9, I've got Tua and the Dolphins. Now I know Tua's not starting. If he was starting right now, I think he'd be 5-11. I think he will get the start around week 5, kind of in the middle of the season. I think it'd be fine at that point. Probably end up season 7-9. Now, I got the Jets as your second wild card team at 9-7. I know some people have them as the second worst record. I don't. Same quarterback, same coach playing for his job, offensive coordinator playing for the job, to a lesser extent quarterback playing for the job. I think they go 9-7, make the playoffs. And Buffalo, I have winning the division this year, 12-4. And I'll go over tiebreakers later on with Baltimore to see who gets ahead. Now, last and certainly not least is the Dirty South. Worst record, though, is pretty easy. That's going to be Jacksonville. I have them as the tied for the second worst record in the NFL. Jacksonville's going to go 4-12. By the way, I had the Chargers 4-11-1, so it's not 4-12. I have them 4-11-1, tying Vegas. And then I got the Colts, not much better. 5-11, new quarterback who's very old. It's a 1-year retread replacement. They'll be getting a quarterback next year. 5-11 is about the best they can do. Now, Houston, I have making the playoffs at 10-6. They would be your top wild card team. They won the division last year. And the team that will replace them is the Tennessee Titans. Again, big contract for the franchise. And I'm going to go over the breakdown between them and Kansas City to see who gets the number 1 overall seed. So the first tiebreaker is head-to-head. Tennessee and Kansas City do not play each other. They are both 10-2 in conference. They don't have enough games between each other or common opponents to use the common opponent. So then it goes strength of victory. Strength of victory, I have the Chiefs getting the first round bye. That means that I've got Tennessee hosting the number 7 Vegas Raiders. If Tennessee wins, they host in the divisional round. After that, I've got a tie between Buffalo and Baltimore. Both are 8-4. Both do not have common opponents. Both do not play each other. So then we go again to strength of victory. I have Buffalo being incredibly good against the right division. I have Buffalo not losing a single game when they play in the NFC. And that, in the other video, we'll see that it is more victories. That strength of victory will give them the edge to get the 3 seed. With that 3 seed, they are going to play a team that I have them beating only once in the regular season. I have them playing the New York Football Jets. And yeah, Jets fans, be happy. I picked you last year to be the 6th seed, and you were not. So that means I've got Baltimore as the 4th seed this year, hosting Houston. And in the next video, I will break down how I have the entirety of the playoffs. If you haven't seen the NFC side of this, of course, watch the NFC side. Like and subscribe, hate and comment. But yeah, so this is what we got. We've got Kansas City on a bye. We've got Tennessee hosting Vegas. Buffalo against the Jets. Baltimore against Houston. In this scenario, by the way, I have none of the divisional winners having a worse record than the wild card. We'll see if that holds in the NFC predictions. And we'll be back with my Super Bowl and playoff predictions.